Hi guys, welcome back to the SU Pod.
The podcast where we put you back in community. My name is Emily.
And I'm Evie. Today we have episode 4 already of season 2.
Episode 4 is crazy. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here. Oh my gosh, wait, what the heck? We just started season 2. Oh my god,
I
okay.
know.
Time is flying. But that's a good thing because, hey, we're here and we're doing it and we're making it happen. So, yay! Oh my god, okay. Hi, Evie, how are you?
Hi, Emily. Like we don't talk all day until we record
I
this.
literally we don't FaceTime and share every single moment of our lives. How are
Literally
you?
every
What's been
moment.
going on? I haven't seen you.
I actually am happy because I seen Emily last
I know.
week
I've seen you like twice as much, which is like a record.
already. Two times in 1 week.
Three
Three
times.
times.
I've seen you 3 times in a month, twice in like a 2-day span.
That's insane. I loved it. I loved every second.
Aw. I wish
She
I
said
lived
I
like
didn't.
right by you.
Just kidding.
No, I did. No, I did. I was like, aw. I was like, you definitely enjoyed it. Stop.
I'm just like your best friend.
No, definitely your best friend.
Oh no.
I'm
How am I doing? I'm doing good. Today it's been a reset day. Just been cleaning and cleaning, and there's still so much more to go. But this week is gonna be busy. But I'm excited
Yeah.
for it to be for the weekend. I'm excited for the weekend. Tomorrow's Thursday. We're almost to Friday, and that means that the weekend is closer and closer. I'm excited for vacation coming up. I know Emily's going on vacation too, so I know you're happy.
Literally,
And yeah.
by the time you're hearing this, I'll be back. So tell me how it went. Once you hear this, just tell me. I don't know yet. You all gotta tell me how it went. But yes, nos fuimos. Nos fuimos. We are de vacaciones, and yeah, I'm so excited. I've just been packing and cleaning and shopping, and I said I was gonna start like weeks ago. I was like, nah, like a week in advance, I'm gonna start cleaning. Girl,
Right.
we leave in like a couple of days. Like that's actually so scary to me. But yeah, life's been great. Honestly, life's been life's been busy and less busy at the same time because it's been less busy because of the stuff. It's been less busy of the stuff that was busy before, but now there's new stuff to be busy about. So like good and bad. But honestly, yeah. Life's been pretty chill. Honestly, my life is great. I can't complain. But I will say I've had a lot of drama and stuff, and I'm glad I didn't go to middle school. I feel like which leads kind of into our topic today, but I feel like everything that I've missed from middle school, it's happening right now. Now that I'm an adult, and now it's like, damn, I have to be the bigger person now.
Yeah.
I can no longer say I'm in middle school, even though it's middle school type drama.
For real.
Exactly.
Actually, it is.
It is middle school type drama. Should I talk about it?
Spill the beans. 2 minutes. Go.
Literally, okay, 2-minute timer. So basically, it's weird because like there's allegedly, there's a guy.
Ooh.
Allegedly.
Uh-huh.
Is it bad? Is it bad to say the last episode? It's a different guy. There's no damn way.
R.I.P. headphone users. Emily just screamed into her
R.I.P. headphone users.
And R.I.P.
right
Emily.
Now. I need everyone right now to pause and wait. Hold on. Wait till I say this. Pause and think about the fact that I'm just a girl. Think about the fact that it's Women's History Month, so I cannot be judged. I need you to pause this. Think about the fact that I'm just a girl. I'm allowed, and also that you guys love me, and also because you can't be mad at me. So pause this, think about that, contemplate, and then come back. Okay. Here's the thing.
Welcome back.
Come back now. Um, I've just been in like a weird days recently, this is gonna segue beautifully into what we're gonna talk about. Because I've been realizing and I've been learning about myself because I'm exploring. I'm learning about the world. I'm exploring because I'm grown and I'm allowed and I can do things and I can experience my own life. I've been really kind of contemplating and kind of seeing how I see the world through my own eyes, like how my expectations have been brought up as, I'm younger, I'm not really experiencing this kind of attention or love. And now that I am, it's like you all entirely lied to me. Every single one of you personally lied to me. Um, it is nothing like that. And I know that's so, I hate saying that because it's like, oh, like it sounds naive or it sounds young, but it's okay to learn simple things even as you keep growing. Like, I think it's the simple things that hit the hardest, where it's just like, no, he's not gonna, sweep you off your feet and take you to his castle and you're gonna ride in a carriage that was once a pumpkin. Like, it's not gonna be like that. But it's so crazy because I remember being a kid and you think, oh my gosh, when I start dating, I'm literally gonna be like, my high school sweetheart's gonna be my husband. And like, I mean, when I was younger, I honestly, my parents said, mind you, my parents used to tell me like, you're gonna get married at 40, and I would repeat it because I was a kid. I didn't know how old 40 was. Which, okay, guys, if I say 40 is old, it's not to be mean. It's half your life. Once you reach half your life, you're old. Hey, there you go.
Oh no.
Sorry to our older audience. But it's okay to be old. I think that's also another thing. But hold on. Let's go in order.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
My ADHD is going crazy right now. But to get there, when I was younger, I used to, repeat what my parents said. But as I, continue to get older, I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm going to get married young. Or not at all. Like, I don't know. I just had all these ideas and all these expectations and all these goals. And I would be like, okay, well, if I took this path of my life, because I knew I wouldn't just, pick one path. Multifaceted person, I guess. I'm just like, okay, like if I go down this road where I, get married young, or like I get a boyfriend in high school and like we're going to get married and that whole thing, I'll have kids young and all that. Or I don't get married, I don't have any relationships for a while, and then all of a sudden a guy pops and he's Prince Charming, he's the most magical person, and then we get married and have kids. All this stuff where it was just like my life was so planned out, my life was so strict. And now I'm like doing the whole situationship thing, and this is so ghetto. This is mad ghetto. Mind you, I don't care about your favorite color. Tell me what your favorite Bible verse is. Tell me how long you spent on your devotional. Show me your Bible app. How many times did you go on it?
Show me your streak.
You know what? Let me shut up because I don't know my Bible. No, but it's like, show me your in-person Bible. Show me the dust that's collecting on your in-person Bible.
Oop, they wouldn't dare.
Exactly. That's what. And then, okay, there you go. So to kind of segue and wrap up, I'm going through this like thing with. I hate to say it. And you know what? The haters hate to hear it. And you know what? My parents won't hear this at all because I will block this episode personally from their phone.
Oh my gosh, Emily.
The haters hate to say this. Everyone hates to hear this. But it's multiple guys and I'm having these issues with, and it's not obviously not at the same time. Come on, guys. We're reasonable. But I think I'm reaching an age where I'm just bolder, where I'm just like, hey, if I think you're cute, hey, it is what it is. But it's tough because now I'm realizing, dang, like, God, I've been asking for this. I didn't even know what I was asking for. I didn't even know what I wanted. I just said I wanted a man. And boom! There is it is, but it's not the man. What?
I can't say
no, you have to say it now.
I can't say.
Type it. Type it, I'll read it. Type it down. Okay. Wait. I'm so funny. I know. Yeah. Wait.
So I gotta ask for a man, but he said, "Be careful what you wish for,
I
Mama."
hate you. Guys, we're breaking up. I hate you.
This is the
Stop.
yes, Emily.
This is the
Am I
yes
wrong?
pod. That's it. Guys.
Am I wrong?
Okay, still. Okay, still.
It's
She said
funny.
there's
It's
multiple.
funny.
She said there's multiple. I just want to say I have to defend my honor. Guys,
She said I
that's
asked
not the
God for
case.
a man, and I was like, and there's
He
multiple.
said
So
multiple.
he said
He said the 12. He said the
multiplication
12
this
disciples,
season.
honestly.
Not the 12 disciples, not the betrayer, not the Judas.
Girl, I meant the 13
Anyways,
Judases. Can we
not
get
the
a
13
a
Judases.
Matthew, a Mark, a Luke, or John, please?
Girl.
All I'm getting is Judases and Bartholomew's. We don't want them. Can we
don't want you.
please? We don't want you, please. Oh my god.
That is
Anyways,
so funny.
getting into like how we felt as kids. Honestly, I feel like again, I had this fairy tale idea of love. I had, and I saw my parents love, and I didn't realize till I was much older, how hard marriage is, and obviously, like my parents, I will always say my parents are such a good example of love, even though they have had their moments, and obviously, as I get older, I realize them. But one thing was, you know, growing up, I saw my parents kiss, and I saw my parents love each other, and I saw my parents help each other, and I saw them do ministry together. And even though it was hard, I didn't know how
Yeah.
hard until I was older. They stuck together, and I didn't realize, they didn't share much about their past until I was, grown, and I realized that, and they've shared this before, like obviously when they first started their marriage, very early on in the marriage, they were, supposed to get a divorce, and God restored them. And I think about a lot how when you're a kid and you see your parents a certain way and you see their relationship, obviously it's very fantasized and very, beautiful, what romanticized.
Right.
And I think I did want to replicate that kind of love later in my life, where it was like, to have that stability, where it was like, it's always mommy and papi. And I know that's
Yeah.
not how everyone views it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. We can definitely get into that, how different you can have your own. I really want to hear your side, but for me it was, mommy and papi were always, I used to get there, I used to call my mom sometimes because I'm a kid, oh, and papi, or my dad, mommy, like, because I get mixed up, because it was always them. It was always them together. It was always, that's how it was. It was Jaden, mommy, and papi.
Yeah.
And so the way I viewed the world from so long, or for so long when I was little, was that's how it's supposed to be. When you grow older, you automatically just find your papi, and you find your kids, you find your person automatically. They come into your life, you get married, you have kids. And it's funny because it's kind of like just how I spawned. I just spawned into this built home. But I know you have kind of different family dynamics within yourself and how you saw the relationships around you as a kid.
Yeah, I think like you said, I know my sister's probably listening. Hey. Obviously, like, I have a lot of siblings. Hey, girl. So I have a lot of siblings, but my sister went to the military when I don't remember what grade I was in. I feel like I was in first grade or something like that. So it really was just like me and my parents at home. So kind of was like the only child in my house.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like really like my parents and me against everyone else. Like, not against everyone else, but like just like I used to, like,
against the world, against, kind of like a
yeah. And it's like there's like a special. I want to say there was a special. That was a special period in my childhood where it was like, wow, it's just me and them. And then when my dad comes home, like, it was. I remember like my dad coming home from work and like me running up to him, like that type of stuff. Like, That's
Yeah.
so beautiful. And I think about it now, it's like now my parents come home and ain't nobody be like everybody's grown and we're just like, okay,
Oh
like we
no.
have to
Yeah.
wait till she's done working and then we'll go bother her, like,
Yeah.
So it's like there's so many
Definitely.
differences. But when I was little, like I just remember that. Like I was like, wow, my parents are here. And I'm such a dad's girl, like such a daddy's girl,
Oh
like they say,
yeah.
like really, really was. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, like me and my mom are close, like in that sense of like my mom is funny. Like one thing, my mom, she's funny. I think I got my sense of humor from her. I really do,
Oh.
and so I'm grateful. But my dad is just like I don't know. We have like this weird like father daughter, but
Yeah.
you just know.
Yeah. The girls
It's this
know.
thing they
Yeah.
always say. And so my dad would like my dad didn't know how to ride a bike, and I remember my mom taught me, and then one day my dad came around the block and was riding his bike too. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh my God, like he learned how to ride a bike for me. Like, just so
Oh.
I can he can ride a bike with me and do something with me. Like I think parents set up these beautiful expectations, like you said, like it's always okay, like we're together and then you follow along because you're like, this is right. Um and my dad and my mom, they've always just in my childhood, despite obviously like the fights that we talk about and the normal things that
Yeah.
happen in marriages that we see as kids, they just showed that they're better together, and that
Yeah.
like even though there's times where like, oh, ask your mom, oh, ask your dad, like that's so
Mm-hmm.
annoying when you're the
Yeah.
kid, but it just shows like they have a union that we didn't understand as kids.
Yeah.
I think like as a
Exactly.
kid, like I remember I always was like, oh my God, I want to go here so bad. And I knew my dad would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I knew my mom would say no. I just knew it. I
Yeah.
just, I just knew it
Yeah.
was gonna be like that, like
Real.
or opposite. Like my mom was gonna say yes for this, and my dad was gonna be like, no, you gotta clean
Yeah.
this, you gotta do this. And then like ultimately, like whoever had the most power that day was really on my side. But if the one that was in charge was saying no, I wasn't going
I'm
out.
literally so dead because it literally was a daily swap. It was
Yeah,
a
I'm like
daily
y'all just
swap.
choosing when to be
I'm
mean.
dead.
But I don't know. It's just that, like, I think again, when you're growing up, you have those are your like influencers. Like they are our biggest influencers. When we're little, like we're
Yeah.
looking at TV, we're looking at celebrities, but we're looking at our parents because
Yeah.
they're literally
100%.
with us that whole time. So I would
No,
say, like
yeah.
growing up, that's how my dynamic was similar. Like always, just me and then my sister. Obviously, we spent time together when I was younger, but it wasn't until she came back
Yeah.
to the military that we got closer and things like that. And then my siblings
Yeah.
were older than me, and you know that story. But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
such a beauty in that, and just growing up and knowing like, okay, like I didn't expect when I was older that it was maybe things change, and that's because we grow up and we change. Like we develop into our own personalities, and we're our own people now. We're not like a.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we're attached to so and so because we had the same last name. Like, yeah, we have the same last name, but we're different people. Like we have grown up, and I
Right.
think that's just the whole thing about it.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to deep dive into. You said something earlier about how it's a very familiar dynamic, but now it's different that you're older. Um, because I can say I'm experiencing that as well. Like,
Yeah.
um, my parents and my parents kind of going on their own venture, and it's just me and my brother now. Um, and honestly, like I've been going through that recently. It's just
Hmm.
been I haven't cried as much
Yeah.
recently. Like I haven't cried honestly. That's why I said like my life has been kind of great because I haven't really cried in a minute. Watch me cry. Watch me cry. I already know
Right
I'm gonna
now,
cry next
while we're
week because
talking.
I get to see my parents again. But yeah, yeah. But no, stop! You literally cursed me. I already know. I already know. Um, it's been kind of it's been kind of weird. And let me pause before I get emotional.
Oh.
Oh, girl, I thought I muted. My fault. If
Are
you heard
you?
ruckus, my fault. If you heard ruckus, it's it's been a little difficult, um, kind of transitioning from that because last year I I talked about it. I was in Puerto Rico and it was it was phenomenal, but also emotionally, mentally challenging experience because I know that God was saving me from things spiritually, emotionally that I shouldn't experienced if I weren't in Puerto Rico. Um,
Right.
but I also know that my mental health was very deteriorated, and I felt stuck. I felt numb. Um, but I was with my family. I was with my parents, and it was a different feeling being an only child for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it felt really nice. It felt great. I mean, I hadn't fought with anybody in so long. I didn't fight with my parents at all. Like when I was over there, and it felt great, and I was, I was getting the attention, and it was great because I think I
Right.
needed that moment, and I think it was great for my brother too, who he was able to have his moment of growing up and realizing, and
Yeah.
coming back to my brother. It was like, bro, he's a whole different man, and in a good way because he grew up and he was able to, kind of learn now, but now it was my turn,
Yeah.
and it sucked um at the beginning
Mm-hmm.
because ugh, disgusting. I knew that I wouldn't be able to relive those moments where I thought I, deserved an apology or that I was still angry about. And we've talked about it before of like, how do you hold on to those memories and still be able to move on?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this the other day where it's just like, um it's been a crazy few years and I feel like I haven't really lived in it until one day I woke up and I'm already 18 and I'm growing up and I'm going to college within the next few weeks, if months. Honestly, weeks is true. Next few months, and it's just like, um I thought I had more time. I thought I would have chances to talk about things with my parents or resolve issues or talk about the times that I was angry, and all of a sudden it's like I need to grow up and I need to move on. And
Yeah.
there are things that I will never get resolution for. Um and it's been hard because I realize that I'm closer to adult me than I am to child me. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's so sad. It generally is, but it's no longer mommy Papi Jaden. It's just Emily. And Emily has a mom and dad, and Emily has a sibling. And it sucks because family was everything for me for so long. Growing up, pastor's kid, family was everything. Didn't matter who came through the church, didn't matter who, honestly, who acted as a good person and who left as an enemy. Um, it was family. It was them. And now it's like there was moments where we were so like it was us against the world, like you said earlier, like it was us, and it was us against the world, and now growing up, and I get to see them soon within the next couple of days, and it's just like I don't know, I never would have imagined my life like this right now. Like I'm grown, I'm older, um and there's not going to be breakfast waiting for me downstairs, and my mom isn't my alarm clock anymore, and my brother and I won't get first day photos anymore, and that's our life. And as children, you genuinely think everything's eternal, um and then one day you realize that it is temporary and that life is different, and it doesn't mean that your relationships are different, maybe for some people, but you're still family. It's just a different way to do family. And I think that's what I've been like feeling recently. And I Hey, share people on your end.
I started crying, so I had to mute myself because I was sobbing. Thank you, Emily, for being vulnerable. That made me sob.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I just wanted to point out the part where you said, "Oh my god, I can't believe I just cried the entire time." My dog is barking, if you can hear her.
Aw,
Um,
Haven got something to say.
Hayden was like, "Please stop." um, it was such a moment where you said like, "It's just you now. Like it's just you, and you have a family." And it's like, yes, you're doing all these things and you're going to college and you're potentially moving out. Like all those things are so like big. Like those are such big things. And oh my gosh, this dog. And I like I
Haven's.
started
Mm-hmm.
yes. I started crying because I was like, I know what that's like, but I'm still here. Where you're distant not because you want to, but because you're kind of forced into that. Like you're forced into a life of growing up. Like you're forced into adulthood. Like no one
Yeah,
really, like your parents prepare you to a certain point, but then the rest of it is on you.
yeah,
And it's like no
exactly.
one talks about how lonely that transition can be and
Yeah,
how like
exactly.
how you really have to just do it. Like
Yeah,
and it's scary and like you said like it's you're associated with your siblings and your family, but they're not going to be there. Like they're not going to
yeah,
be there to wake you up. They're not going to be there to cook for you. They're not going to be there to to physically hug you all the time. And I think like we as kids like we can't wait to grow up. Like but then we're grown and it's like dang, like I wish I appreciated it more, and I wish I appreciated them more, and I wish I like you said like had those conversations that maybe we don't have room for right now, but they will just be like a memory in the future of a time where this happened.
yeah,
And
exactly.
I think it's such a scary place to be like in that transition. And so I applaud you for like doing the big girl things, like going
Yeah.
to college, like that's hard. Like for anyone
Mm-hmm.
listening, like
Yeah.
I'm not in school, like I didn't leave, like I stayed home, I'm still home. But I have felt that separation on a different level because I'm still here, but I'm separate. I'm an adult. Like, and so it's hard to be like on
Yeah.
both ends, or like I still have them, but I don't really have them. And so it's a hard topic. And I know this isn't our whole topic wasn't about to be about parents, but we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
so like
hey, we're
they're a
here.
part of growing up, and it's a part of like the people that, again, like that we're influenced by and we look up to. And that was such a beautiful like and vulnerable moment. And so that's all I had to say on
Yeah.
that.
No, and
I
I
know,
know I
yeah,
took up so much time. But no, I don't really care about time at this point, but
no,
um
yeah,
I I think about like that specifically where all of this will just be memories. Um and I also think about how like the quote where it's like, "Oh my god, this is your parents' first time on earth as well." And like that actually no, well, you know the trend right now where it's like they your car declines at therapy and they
oh my
bring
god,
back
so
your
they
dad
bring
as a kid.
stop.
That
Please.
no, that broke me. No, that broke me. I was okay. I said I hadn't cried recently. I cried. No, I saw that in a
Oh my
reel
god,
or take. I don't even know. No, because I just I'm gonna cry again, guys.
it's okay.
Uh, my dad. I want to make it about my parents because I love my parents so much. My dad grew up in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. If you
Shout
guys
out.
know Mayagüez, shout out. He lived all around. Guanica, Mayagüez, San Germán. Like he lived that area. And he didn't have everything. He didn't have everything. Um he uh he was the oldest sibling and he lost his younger brother or a couple years before my brother was born. And my dad never shared much of his older life until I got older and I was able to understand. But I think about his dreams and I think about what he wanted to do when he was older, and if he ever sat down in a room and thought, dang, like I would love to be an, and he told me this, he did want to be an astronaut. He wanted to work for NASA, and he wanted to be an astronaut.
That's so awesome.
And my dad is the smartest guy I know. He knows so much about everything. And I think about how the world wasn't really nice to him. The world hated him, bro. And he was able to turn his life around for his family, and he gave up everything, and he'd still give up everything in an instant for his family. And it's hard because, and I know this could be a whole other topic.
No, you're good, girl.
It's crazy how much we don't realize that this is our parents' first time. And the same feelings that we're feeling right now, oh my gosh. They felt it 10 times over. And they didn't have a podcast to listen to. They didn't have friends to call up. They had to go through it, and they had to push forward, and they had to keep going because they needed it. Because they needed to survive. And Dad, if you're listening, I hope you skipped the first part. I'm not going to block this episode. I'm not going to block it. But, it's very interesting just to talk about this. And girl, I'm such a professional yapper, you know this. But it's interesting to talk about this and just discuss how we view our parents. And I think with this new season of growth for both of us, and in moving on and in building up things for our life and getting closer to God, I think it's so important to remember that where our parents are today, though through the struggle, through the anguish, they're here and they have happiness in their life. And that for me gives me calm, because one day I'll be able to look back and feel that same happiness. Maybe not because everything's perfect, not happiness because we are rich and we have houses and all this luxury, but happy because we lived a life. And
exactly,
just to see my parents and their, this new journey that they've embarked on, I'm proud of my parents because they're choosing themselves. And I know they say, like, of course, and I feel it, they're doing it for us, of course, but also choosing themselves and choosing their dreams and choosing the plans that they had to brush away because the rent was due, and the dreams that they had to push in a closet and with all the other skeletons because baby formula needed to be made and we needed to go to school. But to see them now being business owners and traveling and doing what they love, and my mom always calls me stress, but I know she loves it. I know it's a stress that she loves. And just to see them grow in that way and just be a couple and just be them. And like I said earlier, like now it's Emily and a family, but it's also Kate and her husband and her kids and Pedro and his wife and his kids, and they get to be themselves. And I think that's so important that parents also get to live their dreams. I don't know if you want to share on that as well, parents.
I love this that we changed the topic. It's very emotional.
Yeah. So like
I can't. I just feel like when you said that about your dad, I got so desolate because for my dad, like, he didn't go to school. Like, he only went up to like 5th grade, like something crazy like that. Which, if you hear that, you're probably like, what the heck? That. Like, yeah, he didn't graduate. He didn't go to high school. He doesn't know how to do, like, he knows English a little bit. He knows, obviously, Spanish, how to write it. But he can't tell you, like, some things that he was like, oh, I don't know how you do so many things for school. Like he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know how to write a paper. Like, it's just things that he didn't
Yeah.
have to do because he had to work. Like he was a
Yeah.
child working. So, so for my dad, like, I know like that's so different compared to my mom who went to high school and who worked. And funny enough, they lived in the same state but didn't meet until they came to Florida, which is so crazy.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
it's just funny the way that got
That's my no. That was my parents too. They
really.
both lived in Puerto Rico and they didn't meet until they moved to Massachusetts. That's
It's
what time.
so random. Isn't
Yeah.
that so
Oh,
crazy?
I love that.
So yeah, it's just like that. It's random, and they had such different lifestyles. So many things happened in my dad's life before he met my mom, and my mom. So many things happened to her before she met my dad, and without them, I'm the only one from them both, so I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So like
Exactly.
applause, like love y'all. But
Lots of love.
like y'all did it. Um, I'm happy, but it's just so crazy to think like, yes, like I wonder what it was that we don't ask those questions. Like, what was it that was hitting close to your heart in this time when you were growing up? Did you think that you were going to
Yeah.
get married at the age that you did? Like, what were your thought
Mm.
processes? Like, what did you want? And why don't you still go for it? I think like a lot of the times, like when it's like those skeletons, like you said, like I don't know what those skeletons are for my parents. Like I never really asked them,
Yeah.
and it just
Yeah.
pushes me to ask a lot of more questions. Like I want to know. I remember I played the We're Not Really Strangers games with my mom. I started crying, and it's because like we don't really ask people, like especially our parents. Like we don't. Well, you probably do more than me, but I never, or maybe just know. Like I don't know a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. Like
Hmm.
I know like basic stuff and a little bit here and there, but
Yeah.
it's just so crazy that like it's like there's this found independence now, and even though like yes they're together, like who they are as individuals is so important, but it's just crazy in which the ways that we grow up so they could finally do their thing now. Like they're not we don't
Yeah.
depend on them as much, and they don't have
Oh
to
my gosh. Yeah.
like do like there have been yes it's like oh when you turn 18 or when you become an adult, like oh my god that your parents are so sad
Hmm.
like they never stop loving, but like now they can
Yeah.
finally like do their thing, like like
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
they want to travel alone, they can travel alone, like they don't have to watch you, like they like
Exactly.
they want to go on vacation, you can take care of the dog, like you like they have
Real. Yeah. Exactly.
like they
Yeah.
have dreams too. And I remember seeing a post that was like and I think you told me, or I don't remember seeing it, but it was like, um, your parents still fought generational curses like
Yeah.
before
Wow.
us
So
that
good.
were
Yeah.
unknown. And I think a lot of times we're like, oh, we need to break these generational curses. Like came from my mom, came from this person, came from my dad. And it's like
Mm.
there's still stuff that they broke too, and
Yeah.
that we won't understand.
Amen.
Whether it was poverty, whether it was, like just that, like going through like real struggles as a kid. Like we were talking
Yeah.
about it earlier, like not having a phone, like not having a GPS, like not using a map.
That,
Like who
bro.
uses maps? Like
No, literally, my dad knows, like, he'll be talking about street names, and I'm like, how do you know? When he moved, right now they're in Puerto Rico, he still remembers street names and stuff. I'm like, bro, like, you know the city for the back of your hand. I'm like, there is no
right.
way. I can't spin the block without knowing where I am.
Exactly. I'm using the GPS to go to Publix at this point. And it's embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, it's a whole thing. And so it's just, I don't know, like growing up is hard. Like growing up is hard with and if you're someone that is not close to your parents, like I'm not the closest person to my parents. So I can say that we have over the years how we've gone through it. Yes, we have. But I'm grateful that we've been able to now, like, we have boundaries, we talk, we try. I'm teaching
Yeah.
them stuff.
So
It's
good.
hard. My parents are older, like they're in their 60s. And I'm 23. That's weird. I'm 23, and
Aw.
it's weird. But like there's so much stuff I have to teach them. I'm like, dang, like they're getting up there. Like I need to calm down. Like I need to appreciate every little thing. Like, and it scares me. Like life genuinely scares me. But I hope that I always have that reverence and respect for our parents. And if you're someone, again, that is not close to them, I pray that maybe if you aren't close to your parents, that you just feel that love, and grateful for the spiritual parents that have stepped in to help with my, earthly mother and father as well. Like, I have spiritual mothers that pray for my relationship with my mom and dad, like spiritual counselors that have prayed for when I get into an argument, I go to them for counsel, or when I'm confused and need guidance, like I go to my spiritual parents, I go to God and I'm like, God, like help me. Help me with my earthly mother and father, like help me be a better Jesus to them, like help me just
so
be
good.
who you want me to
So
be
good.
with them, because I don't ever want to misrepresent you. And I always want to show like that you're working in me. And even today, like I was in a whole church meeting with my parents. Like that's what? And
Wow,
like even my
amen.
dad was like, I just want to be a part of that. Like I want to be in a men's conference. Like I want to do that. And
Wow,
I was
that's so
like,
good.
what are you talking about? Like we don't do that. Like like you want to do that? And
Oh,
it's
we
like
don't do
he's like, I'm like, he's a person, like he wants to do it on his own, like he wants his own spiritual journey. It's not like I don't yes, I'm Jesus and I can help lead them, but at the end of the day, this is their walk. And like the
Yeah,
amazing part is,
exactly.
thank God that our parents, like the Bible says, like trained us up in the ways of God, like in the ways of the Lord. Because if not, like we
Yeah.
wouldn't be the people that we are today. And it's just a testament, like even though yes, we changed religions like 3 times, but we're here. Like we made it. And like your parents pastored here and there, but you made it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like their examples will always indent you. Um and yeah,
Yeah,
that's all I have to
amen.
say.
Exactly. No, that's really so good, and I'm glad that we were able to cover this, and just it's not even Mother's or Father's Day, but like our parents mean so much to us just in general, just how different our lives would be if our parents didn't take the steps that they did. Um and I just want to add on that, like
Yeah,
really quickly, when you said about
you're
the
okay.
generational curses that they broke, um my my mom recently, I'm not gonna share too much because
Mm-hmm.
girl, my family's crazy, my family's crazy, but I've been so proud of my mom. I've always been proud of my mom, but recently, just because like of how much she's fighting to break that as well.
Yeah.
Like I've always said, like, oh, I'm not gonna do this when I'm older, I'm not gonna do this, and I'm gonna break this curse that my parents brought me. But like my mom's fighting left and limb to make sure that her
Mm-hmm.
family, even as their old age, because my mom's the youngest of 12,
Wow.
and she says that she's old, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
my aunts and uncles, like all of them, they're old. But even in their older age where they think that they don't have to change, my mom is really like right now in this season, she is pushing. She is
Yeah.
testing the limits. My mom is not a fighter, but girl, she's been a fighter, a
Right.
lover and a fighter.
Love
Um
that.
and she's really like no, but she's pushing for her family, and I think that's so important just to see, like, again, this is our parents' first time on earth. They're
Yeah.
still struggling with their walk, but they're also making sure that even like not just us, my mom's nephews and nieces also are able to recognize, and
Right.
then and her siblings are able to recognize. And I also think about that, like my mom used to pretend with her siblings, and that
Mm-hmm.
simple thought is like, bro, like everyone is just trying to figure out how to do this life thing.
Right.
And I think that's so important to give your parents the recognition and the understanding that even one day you're going to be a parent if that's what God calls you to be.
Right.
And you're going to realize how right your parents were and sometimes how wrong your parents were. And you're going to be able to develop that because you have that experience. And I think this was such a special time. This was definitely God, and just being
Yeah.
able to process these emotions. It means so much to me personally. It generally does. I know it means
Yes.
so much to you, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we got to do this. But
Me
yeah,
too.
slay.
Me too. I love it. I love this.
Anyways,
And
bye.
parents, we're gonna make them listen to this. All right, bye. I love you guys.
Yeah. All right, bye. Yes, please make sure to check out our YouTube socials that Evie will list in 3 seconds. Three,
Yes.
2, yeah, go.
Okay.
Yeah.
YouTube, Apple, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify. That was it. No, Instagram
YouTube,
at Yes We
Instagram,
Pod,
and TikTok.
and TikTok, but we haven't posted on there, so don't even look for us on there. But
Yeah.
just follow,
Just
and share
just
it.
follow and wait. Yeah, get notifications on, because one day we're gonna pop up and you're gonna be like, oh, yeah, there you go.
And you're gonna be like repost, and I'm gonna be like, told you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly how it's gonna happen. All right. Well, we love you guys. Make sure to check out our previous episodes, binge season 1, and then recap season 2. And we love you guys, and we'll see you next week for another episode. All
Love
right.
y'all.
We love y'all.
Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.